Well, good afternoon or good evening if you're in the USA, and if you are overseas, then you're either late at night or a wonderful Wednesday morning if you're in the Pacific Rim. I am Bruce, aka the guy in the blue shirt, as I'm known here on LinkedIn, and I am also a simpler, faster, better execution, well, not flawless execution person, I should say, not execution. So I am blessed to be joined by Miss Maria and Chris, and we are going to be talking about community and supporting each other. And so, Maria, why don't you just say hi to everybody, and then we'll go to Chris.
Hello, everybody. Maria Rouse here. I work for the Department of Housing and Community Development with the state of California,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm an underwriter for affordable homes. I work directly with developers of um, home affordable projects.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't work individually with clients, but our client is the developers.
Right. But you do an amazing service there for the
Thank
community.
you.
It's
Yeah,
all about
thanks.
community. All right.
Yeah.
And you're in Northern California, right?
Yes, Sacramento. Thank you.
Sacramento. All right. Hey, Chris.
Well, hello there. How you doing, everyone?
We're good. So tell us a little bit about yourself. This is the other guy in the blue shirt.
Well, thank you, Bruce, and thank you, Maria, for putting us together and putting this great LinkedIn Live together. I am Chris Berryman, coalition builder and founder of Bringing Humanity Together. We're on a mission, passion, purpose, and I dare say our calling to create environments that people will love, not only in our workplaces, but in our communities too as well. And we actually do also 3 live streams a week too as well. We do one every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we were just finishing up Share and Care with Sandy. Tomorrow will be Conversations for Humanity, and then Thursday will be Humanity Happy Hour, and they've been hosted by my 2 great partners, Sandy Chernoff and Carla Finnegan. So I'm so humbled and honored to be here, Bruce.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I've watched a couple of your lives, and hopefully your partners will hop on and join in the feed.
Yes, they will. They
All
will be
right.
here.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing them. And again, Maria, thank you for helping to collaborate and facilitate. And Maria's really good at watching for the comments, so I appreciate that. I'm not super good at multitasking, so
We'll see. We shall see.
we shall see. And I don't do anything fancy with other than I do a little outtake video at the end. So that's my only fancy piece of technology. So I've had to learn a lot to even get to this point. So
Yeah, same here. I'm not a tech savvy person either, but
right. But what is interesting, and again, Maria picked up on this through an earlier connection between Maria and Chris, is that what we all have in common is this, big C word, community. And then obviously, Chris, you do a lot for humanity. And it's really interesting because when you look at what Maria does for the people that she serves, not only using our state dollars very, very effectively, but also, you serve a lot of people in all of the projects that your government agencies do there. So super good that you do that, and I'm sure it's really appreciated by the people that you ultimately help with whatever support that you provide to them. So
yeah, it's very meaningful. Every time people would ask me, it's beyond paperwork, and you get that sense of fulfillment that you're doing a good job for the community, especially here in Sacramento. I'm not sure if everybody's aware, but California has a very, very serious homelessness crisis.
right.
So,
Yeah, it has its challenges.
yep.
Hence why I moved out of California to Tempe, Arizona. And I guess I wasn't really a good community person because I jumped ship. But hey, I was there for 5 years. I paid my dues for 5 years, and boy, do you pay your dues when you live in California. That's for sure.
That's what I hear. Absolutely, it's a nice place to visit, but a totally different thing when it comes to living.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. I always say to people, it's one of those places. It it's great to visit, but sucks to live there. So,
Yeah.
so Chris, which remind me, which state are you in?
I've been living in Florida for almost the entire
That's right.
existence of my life. I actually was born on the St. Johns River, which is the only river that flows north in the North America hemisphere, besides the Nile River and the Amazon River.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
we're one of only three rivers in the whole world that actually can say that we're there. So actually, like I said, 1971, that's when I was born. I was born on the banks of the St. Johns River. So I've been living here ever since I was born. Basically, the only time I moved is when I lived in Louisville, Kentucky for about a year, and that was pretty much it. So I've been in Florida basically all my life.
Well,
oh wow.
I need to come do that river. I've done the Nile, but not the Amazon River. So yeah, so I've done one of the three rivers that go north, and it is very strange because it feels really weird because the land is going
Yeah,
one way and you're going the other way, and it's like,
yeah,
what is
exactly.
going on here? And then talk about other community or humanity things. I spent some time on the ocean on the Dead Sea, and that ocean goes
Oh,
parallel to.
That's a unique experience, I hear.
Yeah, have you been? So
No, no, I mean, but that's where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, was in the
yes,
Dead Sea, and that was a unique find. But even they say there are people who go there just literally to take in the water because there's some kind of healing properties to them,
right.
and people
oh,
go to
okay.
the Dead Sea many, many, many times.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really weird because a lot of us are used, if we go to the ocean, we're used to the ocean coming in and out and the waves going that way. Well,
The
when
waves.
we go
Yeah.
that way, it's like, this is bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot of salt. You can float very easily in the Dead Sea. So that's the
Yeah,
other. That's kind of why they call it the Dead Sea. It's got a high intensity of salt, and it's much easier
Salt.
to float on it. So.
Okay.
But
Good to know.
you come out all crystalline, so you shine in the dark when you come out of the ocean there. All right, so Chris, what are some of the things that I know you're a pioneer of supporting a lot of humanitarian and community efforts there? What's the one?
yeah. Well, what we do, Bruce, is we do these three live streams a week to hear from the heart of humanity, finding out what really makes humanity want to grow and thrive like no other time in human history by simply having those conversations, meeting them where they are, taking them for who they are, and just creating that environment that not only they will love, but that might even turn into maybe the life that they love through that prism of conversation. And by doing that, it's going to open up a much larger world because of that. And see, like I said, we're so geared on creating those environments because, see, I come from an environment for over 35 years of working for others. And the way Bringing Humanity came to be was I had three epiphany moments. The first one for me was I was sitting on my couch about 15 years ago and I asked myself this very question: should I
Mhm.
be working with others or working for others? And there's a
Right.
huge distinction in the two because when you work for others, you help them get what they want and maybe not necessarily what you want. But when you work with others and you truly mean it and you really are there with them, that just changes the whole game and whole mindset. But then soon after that, um, in 2017, when I was a corporate recruiter for a solar company here in Lakeland, when I
Mhm.
was asking applicants and candidates questions like these, like, do you want to be a part of something bigger than of yourself? Do you want to leave a living and lasting impact every day in every way? Do you want to help others and get them to where they want to go? And then that's when I had the kind of thing on my brain, and I was thinking, well, my gosh, this is so amazing. I got to look further into it. So I started sharing my vision with people, talking and having these conversations. And then it went none other than my great wife, who's just down behind me coming in from work. She just keeps telling me still to this day, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being underappreciated, tired of being undervalued. And that's when I said, you know what? I got to create a great human driven organization and community and movement that unites us all, because I truly recognize this. The one thing that unites us all is that very humanity. And if we can be able to meet people where they are and just take them for who they are, and maybe for a brief moment, Bruce and Maria, take a step out of that model of the world that we work under just for a brief moment, and then what comes before us? The literal definition of change, which is transformation. And we truly believe that here at Bringing Humanity Together, because that is so powerful. And not only is it a gift to be shared, but everyone can have a part in that. And more importantly, there are people that you don't even know may even get the ripple effect from that. And that turns into legacy, and that matters.
Right.
Okay, so what do you guys what are you guys focused on? Like communities, individuals, companies?
All the above.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because name me one company that don't have a human being in it, and name me one community that don't have a human being in it. They're interconnected. It's already there. And see, once you establish that and realize that, Maria, that's how you can really meet people where they are, because they're not in a kind of like hive mindset to where I can check my humanity at the door and everything like that. That I have to turn up myself off or clone myself to say, I'm only taking my work self to work today, not my whole self. And see, that's the thing. I truly believe in this dynamic. There's no personal development. There's no professional development. There's human development. And once we develop people and meet them where they are and develop them on the whole scale, that's when it changes the whole game. And that's what we truly believe here at Bringing Humanity Together. Because once you develop people from inside and out, it just changes not only their mindset, but it changes the direction they can truly achieve and go, because they know that they're a part of something bigger of themselves. If you create that environment with them and build a bridge with them to such a degree that it means something to them. And I tell people and share with people every day, Bruce and Maria, the next currency of humanity is not going to be rooted in money. It's going to be rooted in value. And once people are showcase that value and they feel it and it's tangible to them and they feel it in their heart of hearts, that's going to change the game like another time in human history, because that's one that's going to make humanity rise and become the next renaissance of humanity, because we're giving that value. Because you can't put a price on money when it comes to value. You can't put a price on it. You can't even put a price on someone's worth. There's no way you can do that. The closest that we can come to that is really meet them where they are and accept them for who they are, and also give them the opportunity to not only lead with their humanity every day in every way, but we as leaders can do the very same thing, because we're human just like everyone else. And by doing that, you create that environment that not only will create better results, but you get better in tune of your community inside that organization. Because then if you can turn them into becoming a part of something bigger than themselves, you make them become advocates not only for you, but you also are creating a legacy for them, and they are in turn creating that legacy for you. And it comes basically, like I said before, field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. So if you create that field of dreams for them, they will create it for you.
So, Chris, that was a super big overview. Have you got like maybe a simple example of somebody that might have teamed up with you, and what did they go from and to, or what did they do in terms of results? So,
well, the way we've already started out with, not only when it comes to our community, but our team here, we started from conversations, and we talked to them on a deep, meaningful human level to find out where they want to go, what they want to achieve, whether they see themselves not only in their place of organization structure, but their personal structure. How does that turn out? What do they really want to do? And by doing these three words, I think it's going to change the game like another time. Listen, learn, and lead. If we can all become better listeners, then we can all become better learners, and then we can become better leaders, and we can ask people to do the same. Because if we listen to people and really meet them where they are, and not put our reality onto their reality, thinking that that's their reality when in fact it's not, it's our perception thereof, that's even going to, in and of itself, going to change the game, because perception may not add up to reality, because there's two realities that are at play. There's a reality and their reality. Which one do you actually are perceiving to see? It's going to be the big question you have to not only answer for yourself, but also actually have that engaging conversation with those people around you, not only in an organization, but also a community, because you guys want to be on the same page. And if you can't even do that, that's going to be kind of, rubbing the thing the wrong way. And you don't want to do that. You want everyone to work together, work in harmony with one another, and see the value of everyone that's bringing the things to the table of humanity. Because once you do that and recognize it as such, that's going to be a home run.
Right. So again, let me, maybe I didn't rephrase so well. So do you have an example? I like the listen, learn, and lead. Do you have an example of somebody you can think of that, you work with, they listened some, they learned a bunch, and then they led? Do you have a kind of example of how your organizations help them? And again, you don't mention
results.
Yeah,
results, right?
Yeah,
well,
some results.
What we have done is we've done something totally untraditional when it comes to the business world. We're not doing the products and services dynamic as of yet. What we're doing is we're creating the following now. We're hearing from the heartbeat of humanity now and finding what do they want, what do they are truly hungry for, and everything like that. So when it comes to an example, it's just listening to them of what they are needing in their lives at that very moment, finding out where do they want to go, how can take their leader in their organization and not only have that leader work for them, but also maybe in turn that leader can also work with them to where it's a collaborative and truly engaging environment. And that's when we'll start the sparks to fly of creativity and everything like that. So when it comes to the products and services, what's going to happen is that all the great partners here are bringing humanity together. We'll start building those out, not only on an individual one-on-one basis, but it's also going to be done by an organizational basis, depending on their needs, because we want to hear it from them, not from us, because we truly believe that there's no cookie cutter approach to this. Because the more you throw a cookie cutter approach to it, and it's almost like throwing mud on the wall and just hope and pray to God it sticks. That's not the way it's going to work. See, that's why I created this dynamic in the way I have, Bruce and Maria, because most businesses do this. They build a building, put a product and service out, and then hope and pray to God that they get a following. Well, I said, let's do that differently. Let's build a following now. Hear from the heartbeat of humanity now and find out what those products and services look like to each and every single individual and every single individual organization. And like I said, meet them where they are and take them for who they are. Nothing more, nothing less.
So in that listening, what happens to all the information that you gather, Chris? Because obviously it's got to be going somewhere to be able to figure out how to design, your humanitarian work.
Like how, like what you said, Bruce, how are you going to be able to design those products and services just based on the following?
No.
People
the following is totally different than actual a product and services standpoint. But that's when the listen, learn, and leads comes into play, Maria, because if you're listening to what people are wanting and what they want to achieve, it comes from them, not from us. Because we can be a guide on that journey with them. That's a totally different dynamic in and of itself. But when you think about it from a products and services standpoint, like I said before, a cookie cutter approach does not work. There's just no way to do that. That's why we really have that great and engaging conversation with those individuals or with those organizations to find out what they are truly needing. And maybe they may even have a blind spot that comes up to play. They may not even see something coming and they don't even know about it. And by having a fresh set of ears and a fresh set of eyes on things, then maybe that might be the turning point for them. Because see, there's two dynamics that comes into play when it comes to an organization. There's number one, there's position and permission. Now, when it comes to a leadership role, you can either lead by permission or position, but that's a choice. And to me, ladies and gentlemen, choice is the ultimate path to freedom. A lot of leaders today really get it wrong, and John C. Maxwell said it best in his great book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, that he believed the greatest myth is that we equate leadership and management to be one and the same, but they're two polar opposites of the spectrum.
They're not going to be the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So So I'm just real curious because I've not heard this approach before, Chris. So
Mhm.
what's happening to all the information you gather? Where does it all go? How do you assimilate all the information that you get from your lives?
It's done by one-on-one basis, so it's done internally. So we do that one-on-one, and that's a house secret. I can't give the house away
Yeah.
now. I can't do that. But everything is always up to snuff. So we keep everything in house.
So
Okay.
how are you going to be able to specifically weed out, like, okay, this group of people like this or want this group of people want this, like there's so many wants, like probably.
I understand that. A great question, Maria. But let's see, that's the beauty about, like I said, listen, learn, and lead. If we listen attentively enough and find out what they are truly wanting to do and where they want to go, and see, it's like, again, what John C. Maxwell says in a lot of his books, to ask the right questions is to get the right answers.
Yeah.
And that's what you really want to do. You want to find those right answers to those questions that they are posing, or we pose it to them that hopefully they will get the right answer for themselves. Because, see, by having that truly interconnected dialogue with people, because, see, sometimes not only as people, but leaders in organizations, sometimes we beat ourselves up so much because we don't have all the answers. We just, there's no way we can be able to know everything every day. This is no way. That's why when we recognize leaders in leadership positions, they're going to be no different than us from a C-level management type dynamic or a team leader or a janitor. It doesn't really matter. But if you meet them where they are and you say, hey, it's okay to be human, it's okay to lead with your humanity, just do you. And the more that you do that and you're honest with that and you just understand the dynamics of how humanity works, there's just no way you can try to control human nature. There's no way you can control even change in and of itself. To really understand that is to embrace it all, take it for what it is, and just let that be. And when it comes to those people who are asking for those particular questions to those answers, and you really engage with them, that's how you create that dialogue to say, hey, this might work for you. This is what the XX and X might be for you. And by doing that, again, it's that cookie cutter approach, because you can have the same dynamic like even in a franchise. It's almost like McDonald's. McDonald's may have a core value system and a core way of doing things, but when you look at it on the reality spectrum, that when you think about it, it's so many different points of view and different environments, because the community in and of itself is different by default. It is there. And the more you recognize that and embrace that, McDonald's is made up of millions and billions of cultures. And once you take that for what's there, not only can you drive to a certain point and get a mission done, but what's already there, but you got to make sure the alignments are there from everybody involved, from management all the way down to the janitor. They have to be in some kind of a cohesive, symbiotic relationship that they all agree to adhere to. And by doing that, you can not only build the stepping stones for a foundation to grow and thrive even further, but I even dare to say, Bruce and Maria, the things that may not be in alignment from an employee to an organization, I truly believe if you have those conversations at the beginning, that will even be a foundation to even say, hey, maybe we can still build a foundation, even the things that are not in alignment to one another, or even for the problems we don't even know that we're having, but yet they are there because we're not recognizing as such. And that's a beautiful thing when you lay that on the table and say, hey, this is what will be achieved through not only through the power of conversation, but through the power of language, and show that possibility therein of.
So what do you guys hope to achieve aside from bringing humanity together? What's the overall goal or mission of the organization or the company?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you want to be appreciated and acknowledged and really feel like that you're a part of something in any organization that you worked on before, Maria? Is that something you would like to have done at every single time of your life? Is that something you
Um,
like?
It's always given recognition. It's a motivating factor for everybody. But what is the ultimate goal? Basically, I was asking, like, okay, bringing humanities together, but what is the ultimate goal? Like, okay, we brought them all together, but what's next for that?
Okay. So let me ask you this. If that's the ultimate goal of to bring humanity together, shouldn't we then be able to create those environments with them that not only will turn into the environment they would love, but maybe turn into the life that they love? Wouldn't that be a great thing?
But what if it doesn't apply to everybody?
I
It
understand that, I
yeah.
recognize that, but see, that's the beauty of humanity in and of itself, Maria, because we're so unique by design, we're different by nature, and that's the uniqueness about humanity. Everyone's going to be uniquely different to everybody else, and you embrace that differentiality in and of itself, because individualism is what makes humanity so unique. Because if we're of that, like I said, that high mind mentality, we're going to have everybody across the board the same way. There's just no way. But if you embrace them for who they are and meet them for what they are bringing to the table and accept that, that's how you build that bridge with them and to them in such a way. Not only does it work in their model of the world, it works in your model of the world, not only as a leader, but everybody on a team, and more importantly, in our very own communities which we live in.
So, so Chris, I've heard that you're in the listening mode right now. Is that a true statement?
Correct, correct.
So,
We want to hear from people because, like I said, the more that we hear from people, it doesn't matter where you're at, whether you're in C-level, C-suite, or you're a janitor, or you're a mid-level manager. We want to uplift and create that environment that not only that you will love, but you want to turn that into a life that you love. Because see, what I'm doing here, bringing humanity together with all these great partners here at Bringing Humanity Together, it's not about me. It's not. It's about them. Because the more I showcase their talents, their skill sets, their experiences, and they can actually change someone's life for the better, then I've done my part because I know my place in space in all this. I'm the visionary guy, I'm the coalition builder guy, I'm creating this great orchestra of humanity that we're building here, bringing humanity together. Because I know not only do I want to leave a legacy to every partner here at Bringing Humanity Together and every community member that's part of Bringing Humanity Together, I want to leave that legacy for Bruce, Maria, Sandy, Carla, and every organization that we will touch, because that matters. Because they can come and say, hey, Bringing Humanity Together did this with us through the simple things that they showed us and met us where they are at, and we met them where they're at. That creates that collaborative environment that not only will grow and thrive, but also can be for what it is, nothing more, nothing less. And the more you get into that and realize that opportunity, again, that's when that field of dreams will show up for people, and even that point of transformation to it in and of itself. Because if you allow those things to naturally occur, like I said, all bets are off at that point.
so Chris, taking that transformation word, you confirmed that you were in the listening stage. At what point is that turned into something that's transformational in either in terms of a place for somebody to be, or what are you planning to execute once you've listened to all of the input from everybody that's talking to you right now?
That's
Well,
going to be done when that opportunity arises and occurs. Because our ultimate goal is, like I said, we want to create environments that people will love, not only in our workplaces, but in our
right.
communities. But that's why we want to end up hearing from them, because every story is going to be uniquely different. Every experience they've had is going to be uniquely different. And to curate that and get that into one big story, that is going to be so many stories to tell. It's not even funny. But those need to be heard, because if you give people a voice and a place and space that gives that open environment for open mindedness and really insightfulness and that sense of community and belonging, it's just like what Derek Sievers has presented on a TEDx, and you can look it up on YouTube. It's about how to start a movement. It's not the first guy that starts to dance who really starts to get the things going. It's the second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth person that really gets the whole movement going. And that's what we're really creating in and of itself, is literally a movement, because
Oh,
we truly believe in that.
there we go. That's why I was after. What's your productive output? Because you can't be listening for the next 10 years, Chris.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I was gonna follow up that question. So, how
you know,
long do you guys plan on just listening before implementing all of the things that you have
That's
assimilated?
yet to be
Yeah.
determined. That's yet to be determined. But like I said, that's what we're doing right now. Because see, I've literally, with great partners here, bringing humanity together, we have done this in a way that it's working for us. Because the proof is in the pudding. We right now have on our LinkedIn business page 785 people following our page. But see, this is the thing. We don't even sell a single thing yet. Now, why would that be? It's because there's no risk factor into that to seeing the great content and what we're about. Because if the no like and trust factor will already be established, when we put out those products and services, then they will already know who bringing humanity together will be. Because see, the one thing I've seen far too much in my life of working for others is what we have done is we put out a product and service that somebody may not even want or may not even need. But if you listen to them now, you would have a better sense and a better gauge of where to go and how you can achieve not only their skills or their problems or their solutions to whatever that might be for them. Because see, everyone is uniquely different. Like I said before, every organization is uniquely different, even if it's under a kind of like a franchise model, like a Outback or a PDQ or whatever that might be. Even though they have a brand recognition name, every store is going to be uniquely different to each and every single thing. Because if we had the same community here in Florida, you expect the same community will be in California or Arizona. It's not going to happen. So if you take that for what's already there, it's going to open up your whole horizons to a much larger world, because you're embracing everyone who is there at that given moment and at that given time.
okay.
So, is it considered a nonprofit
No,
organization, or it's a for-profit
correct,
organization?
correct.
Okay.
All right. So we're kind of approaching time here, Chris. So you mentioned about your page. It's on LinkedIn, right?
Correct. It's under Bringing Humanity Together. So it's
Okay.
already there. You can follow us there and get more content. And you can always connect with all the great partners there at Bringing Humanity Together. You will see them probably on the page too as well. And if anyone would like to know more, you can always reach out to me. And I would love to have that great and engaging conversation with them.
Yeah. Well, again, I appreciate you covering. You covered a lot of the ground on everything you're trying to do. I would encourage you to figure out, when your research on listening is going to be really moving into the next phase, which is, how do you take all of that input and really turn it into, I think, the community that you're seeking to build, right? So
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'd encourage you, because at some point, I mean, I do this with new things and new processes and new attempts. I do a little bit of research, and then at some point, you have to say, okay, this is probably the best.
Implementation stage.
Yeah, this is probably the best I can get, and now let's move to some action that's going to create an implementable outcome. Because I don't know about you, Chris, but what I found in the past is if you over research, you go into like analysis paralysis, and you don't kind of go anywhere. So I would guide you along that, having done processes for a long time. That's my deal. At some point, you gotta go implement and execute something. So,
Oh, absolutely.
hope that helps.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So again, thank you for proctoring in the introduction, Maria, from
You're welcome.
Northern California, and our friend over in Florida, or sorry, Dart there, I'm assuming. All right, I'm gonna do a little selfish plug. I'm gonna do a little outtake here, so hang with me, and then we'll just say bye.
So, what if your processes do not work well? Did you know you can save or eliminate massive amounts of wasted steps, time, money, or other resources? Bruce can show or teach you how. Take the next step. Visit his website at processcleanup.com and book a casual yet confidential call with Bruce. It just might change your world forever.
There we go. And a little story there. Trina was a connection of Gracie Ruth Melendez, and she's got a great voice. So she did the voiceover for that. So great example of listening and executing. And I asked her if she'd do the voiceover for me, and she said, sure thing. So we did a little collaboration, which I love to do. I love to collaborate with LinkedIn members. So if you're watching this if you've been on live and didn't comment, you can put your comments under #replay. If you see it as a replay, you can do the same, and you can ask questions of any of us. So thanks again. Thank you for being the guest, and thank you for helping the facilitation, Maria. And
Thank you.
All right.
A pleasure. Thank
Hang
you,
on.
guys.
Say bye to everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a great